Time now to tackle the hot topics and the hot sauce. We have Lynn Shine, our mental health expert. You know, this summer I feel like, especially with sports, we are talking about all sorts of scandals, if you will, from performance-enhancing drugs all the way on up. You know, it seems like athletes are in the spotlight less for their athletic performance, more about what they're doing wrong, if you will. Lynn, what's happening with these guys?
Well, I think that ever since they're little kids, especially nowadays, they're in their sport, and we hype it, and we tell them how wonderful they are, and we're telling our children, when they're children, or our athletes, that they're wonderful with their sports behaviors versus their character, versus praising their character, because I'm all for praising someone if it's regarding their character, not necessarily constantly praising their behavior. So they have inflated beliefs in themselves.
Do you think this is just kind of entitlement run amok?
I do. I think that we entitle them with the money that we give them. We entitle them with the fame that we give them. And we don't spend as much time. I like seeing the stories when we talk about what they're doing for their neighborhoods or for different charity events. That's fantastic, because people will look up to them.
You know, one of the sports commentators I was listening to put it back on the fans. He's like, well, if the fans didn't have such high expectations and didn't push and push and push and push, then the players wouldn't feel the pressure to overachieve and go to any length to then get what they want. But, well, I don't know, you put it on the fans, you put it on the players?
I think that we're talking about, like I said, a character. A character's built long before they get into the spotlight with the fans. So we really need them to own things. If they're going to be in a professional spotlight, they have some ownership. They are responsible for being in the public eye, and I believe I put it back on them to be responsible for that. Yes, we're going to look to them. Yes, kids are going to look up to them. Yes, we put pressure on them. But the truth is, it needs to come from within.
You know, I even think about it with my own daughter who's into sports, and you know, whatever she does, I want to be her biggest cheerleader. I want to support her. I want to, yay, good job. But how much is too much, you know?
You know, there was an interesting study when I went that showed that when the difference between parents and kindergarten teachers, and they were talking about with parents, when we cheerlead, we're constantly saying everything is wonderful, and they stop performing because they either have to be the best of the best, or they don't have the internal momentum, where a kindergarten teacher will say, well, why did you color it that way? When we're saying how beautiful the picture is, they're saying, why did you choose that color? Why, you know, helping someone feel good about themselves, it doesn't need to be an unconditional cheerlead.
All right, so my unconditional love doesn't necessarily mean unconditional saying everything that she's doing is amazing, even if it's not so amazing.
That's right, exactly.
All right, very good. Good insight. Thank you, Lynn. We always appreciate when you come on the show.
Thank you.
It's time now to send things over to Lauren Hall and the .com check.
Good morning. Well, thank